Hey everyone, it's Dr. Alford. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about the quilting features that are available on your Premier Plus 2 embroidery system. So stay. Hello everyone, it's Dr. Alford. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about using your embroidery machine to quilt. We're going to be using the Ultra Premier Plus or Premier Plus 2 embroidery software to get things set up. So if you're excited about this video, click the like button. Leave any comments or questions you might have below. I'd love to hear from you and know what kind of projects you might be working on, or if you have a suggestion you'd like me to do for an upcoming video, I'm happy to do that for you. Click the subscribe button if you don't want to miss any upcoming videos. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we want to do, as we do for any project that we're working with a software, is that we're going to go ahead and pick a hoop size. On this particular software, if you go to the upper left hand side, you want to go over to the 7th icon, which is change hoop. If you hover your mouse arrow over that, it'll say change hoop. Click on that. That actually brings a dialog box up, and that will give you a couple of options. The first one is you're going to select the machine that you're using. I'm using the Husqvarna Viking Designer Topaz 50 machine, and of course you would pick whatever machine that you're using. The next drop-down box is going to be all the hoops that are available for that particular embroidery machine. Today we're going to use the 120 by 120 square hoop size. I'm going to leave it as a natural orientation. All that means is that that's how it looks in your embroidery machine. And I'm going to click OK. So now it's brought up, and as you can see, it's a nice square. Now I'm going to be quilting a baby quilt, so I'm just going to do something really simple. It's already put together, and it has the back, the batting, and the top part already assembled together, but I want to do the quilting part. So on your machine, on your system, on your computer screen, if you go down to the second line, which are all the little tabs, and go over to the third one, which says Wizards, go over to Quilt Blocks, and we're going to click on that. Today we're going to use just a quilt pattern fill. So I'm going to the 4th button where it says Filled Quilt Block, No Inner Shape. So it's going to be just you're filling the block. You're going to click Next, and the top left-hand side, it's going to give you options if you want to do a square shape, a rectangle, diamond, rectangle, whatever you want to choose. You have 9 options. I'm selecting a square because that's the size. That's what I'm using. My blocks are square, so I have a couple of different triangles that would be nice to use, but to make it a little bit more simple, I'm just going to leave it as a square. The other thing that you want to change is the size. So if you go down about halfway down, you can see that a letter A, and then next to that, it says 200 millimeters. Now, if you hover over that, it actually changes to inches, so you know that's too big. It's 7.87. I want to change that to my actual hoop size. So you can either use the little arrows there to the right of that little dialog box, or you can just type it in. I'm doing 120 millimeters. The next little box that's at the bottom here of the screen on the left side is a cut line. Since my quilt is already assembled and I'm not cutting anything else at this point, I'm going to uncheck that. And what that would be for, I would think like something if you were putting together, maybe you were making maybe coasters or something, and you were just quilting them like one by one, it would stitch a cut line for you so that everything would be the perfect size. I don't need that, so I'm just going to leave it unchecked. Next, click the next button, and now here's our choices. I'm going to bring this out so you can see it a little bit better. The first one is the one I'm actually going to use. I'm going to do stippling in my quilt block. Just going to keep it very simple. And it's a baby quilt. It's not anything extravagant. So I'm just going to do some fill to just give it some more depth. And because I'm not really good at doing this by hand on my machine, I just haven't practiced enough. I'm going to let my embroidery machine do it. Then let's just go ahead and go through these while I have the screen open. The next one are channels and parallel lines. In this, it would sew straight lines. The next one are diamonds and squares. If you wanted to add a specific dimension to your quilt or whatever you're quilting, that's kind of fun. The fourth one down are motifs. Now all this does is sew straight across, so horizontal. If you clicked on options, it's going to give you lots of things to choose from. The first one, if you were to look at the motif 1, if you look at the drop down box, it's going to give you everything from hearts to circles. You can change those so they're different lines and those kind of things. I found that there's some really cute ones in here. For instance, if you go to flowers and leaves, you could do some really fun stuff to add dimension to your quilt if you were doing something really fun. Or, doesn't stop you from embroidering something across the bottom of a skirt, or do something fun for maybe a little outfit or something. In here, there's also some really cute things. If you go to General Motifs 2, they have animals in here, like little dogs. There's cats, fish. So if you were doing like a little cat quilt or something like that, that would be kind of fun to use that. So you could certainly play around with this. This is just an option. The next one is an echo, meaning it's a continuation of the square. It gets smaller and smaller. That's kind of fun. The contour is very similar to that. It's just a little bit more narrow. Again, you can play with that and see what things look like. And the last one we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth. Now this one in the green at the very bottom are shapes. Now what this does, if you can see in the middle of this, it's going to be a little hard to see. There we go. I think you can get the idea. You can see that it's kind of a diamond pattern. If you click on options, you can make changes to this. So the first one, this is set up as a diamond, but maybe you wanted to do something like a spiral or something. So maybe you want to click on the circle. And as you can see, it changes to a fun spiral. And you can change the width lines, but with the spacing between the lines in the different options. Now, there's another fun option to the same thing under shapes. If you click on the next icon over on the right side, this is set up for diamonds, and you can see that the stars are in a diamond pattern. Now, this is really kind of fun. Say you wanted to do a circular spiral, and if you click on the motif, there's another at the top of the screen here. You can see that there's motifs. Click on that, and again, you can change. Say you wanted to do circles. It'll do a spiral with circles. Or if you wanted to do a spiral with, let's see, we could do, where was the little, go to General Motifs. You can do like little bicycles, and it would just embroider little bicycles in a circle. Kind of fun. This would be a lot of fun to play with. But for our purposes, I'm just going to choose stippling. I'm going to keep it very basic. And then I'm going to click finish. And as you can see, it fills my hoop. Now, on previous videos, I've talked about this. I'm just going to cover this super quick. You have 4 quadrants here underneath your quilt, is with any other hoop you have. It's going to give you grid lines to go by. There's 2 thick ones. There's a vertical center one and a horizontal center one. And that's just to help you center your patterns when you're working. Makes it a lot easier and make it look a lot smoother. You can reduce the size of your item. If you were to click on the corner buttons, you could actually make this smaller or bigger. You actually can't go bigger than the actual grid lines. It actually won't let you save it even. if you were to do that. So that's basically how you set the software up to get it to quilt for you if you wanted a very basic quilting. Again, there's lots of options you can choose from. Now, here's a couple little tidbits. If you want to see where this actually starts with any of your designs, if you click on the home tab up at the top left side and you go all the way to the right hand side, it says design player. If you click on that, we're going to start from the beginning. It will actually show you how it's going or where it's going to start embroidering or doing your motif or your quilting. So it starts in the upper left hand side. This is actually for any of your designs. You can play it and see what colors go first and those kind of things. So it is kind of fun to actually watch it do its pre-thing, and it'll tell you when your embroidery machine should tell you when to stop and change your threads out and those kind of things. So that's a useful little tool if you want to see where it starts and where it ends. And a couple other things, you can check out my previous video that will show you how to upload this, export it into your thumb drive and take it to your embroidery machine. So you can watch my previous video, what I'll leave a link for you. If you have any questions or comments below, please leave them. I'm happy to take a look at them, answer them for you. Leave any questions you might have. I'm happy to answer them for you. And again, click the like button if you've enjoyed this video. If you don't want to miss any upcoming videos, click the subscribe button. So thanks again for joining me today, and I hope you have an absolutely fabulous day.